Uh, Thanks, Shastri, and thanks, Jay, for setting up stage for me. I think I'm going to expand where you stopped and taking some examples of how things work in agentic world. Uh, yes,
And that's how we plan the sessions.
yeah,
Connectivity.
great. Sharing my screen. Just let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we are able to.
Yeah. So before we go into session, already Jay had shown some numbers. So I also want to play with some numbers. So in the chat, I can't see the chat, but yeah. In the chat, if you can make a wild guess of what this percentage or what this number talks about from the context of AI, what it would be. Any wild guesses?
People can type into the chat.
Okay. Anxiety, predictability. Okay. 92% of manual things get automated by 2035. Okay, but I'll reveal this. So, okay, sorry. Uh, yeah, so this is the percentage of companies plan to increase their AI investment over next 3 years, according to McKinsey research. And the fun fact here is like, yet only 1% consider themselves mature in AI development, which means that we have a huge growth potential, and now we know where to invest our future for. So with that said, let's go with the next one. Next one is 96 percentage. Again, I would request any wild guesses on this. What does 96% stand for? Upskilling, okay. Any other guesses? Okay, just with the, okay, it will be automated analysis. Okay, great. Great. Thanks for the answers. Let me just reveal that. So this is a percentage of organizations that are already deploying AI models according to FI Networks 2024 research. And what it predicts also is like 80% of all applications that we are using will be AI enabled in next 3 years. Again, now there are a lot of insights and all those things that we will cover in our future slides. But for making it easy, I'm just leaving it there. You can think about making an AI agent or AI systems or upscaling yourself towards no code things, because now the AI is going to make us more of a no code engineers rather than a coding engineers. We'll talk more about that in future slides. But yeah, the third one and the last one for our Jeopardy is 19 times. What do you think 19 times from the AI context? Okay, productivity increase. Okay. Any other guesses? Okay, let me just go ahead. So it is the number of times trained AI users are more likely to report productivity increase compared to the untrained users. So what it shows is like training is not just helpful, but it is very critical for AI success. Okay. With that, I'll just move to my introduction. I think a couple of you know me, but yeah. So I'm here. I work for Salesforce at this point in time. I have like 17 plus years of experience in Agile space. I did my master's in technology from BITS, and I did my master's in psychology from Acharya Nagarjuna University. Again, I just want to make sure that I understand both sides of the organization, and that is where like I try to build lasting coaching relationships. Even if I move out of the company, there are a lot of things that are continuing in the organization. So that is what my whole intention is. I am also authoring some books. So one book I have published, which is Narada INC. This book is mainly on traditional wisdom on how it can work in the current environments. And the other one is change equation on how, why, and the transformations fail or being successful. What is that? The whole equation of success of transformation is what the change equation is all about, and it is going to be launched soon. My goal is to make sure that I help people become leaders. So I strongly believe everyone is a leader at their own level. It is our responsibility, our coach's responsibility to make sure that people are upskilled and become great leaders. So with that, let's dive into our topic for today, which is AI meeting Agile. So it's a Monday morning, and your team has just finished their best ever sprint, which is like 40% more features delivered. And thanks to GitHub Copilot, which helped in achieving that. But your product owner is confused about the velocity, and Scrum Master doesn't know how to facilitate AI discussions. And your stakeholders want to understand if this pace is sustainable. Does this sounds familiar? At least for me, when we started the AI journey, it was so familiar, and we have been juggling on this journey for long. So today I am putting all my experience from past 1.5 years where we started using AI and implemented within our teams. I'll also show what tools we used, how we implemented those, and some of the success stories from different organizations. And these success stories are from first-hand information that I have, but I had from the context that I had. So let's continue with that. Yeah, so let's look at the reality check in what is happening. Okay. This was a big news. I think everywhere this was announced, like LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere you see, there was like Mark and Benioff, who is the CEO of Salesforce, says that we are no more hiring software engineers, and we have already boosted our productivity by 30%. And it was a surprise and shock to many of the people. And it went, the momentum was so huge, like it became so famous within in less than 24 hours. It was all over the news. But the reality is like, so in past 1.5 years, Salesforce had implemented AI tools that are being used by developers day in, day out, which helped us become or deliver 30% faster code to the production. Now, there are other things that AI has done, which is like they have added 2000 plus roles. Currently, the role is like 1200 plus roles are already filled in, but there are also 800 plus roles that are still open in the new world of AI. And there are also a lot of AI agents that are working together to make sure that these salespeople are able to close the deals much faster than ever before. Now, so it is not just coding that AI is going to impact, it is fundamentally changing the team composition business models. So now for that, what happens is like when you are building a system, you also need to understand what kind of product you need to build and what is the AI impact of that product, which we look into the next example at Citibank. So Citibank, it is a very traditional organization, and it's a banking system. People here who worked for a bank knows how hard it is, or how challenging it is to change anything in banking systems. But Citibank had implemented a, a phase of coding tools or Gen AI tools, which made 30,000 plus developers with a 11.8 billion investment to make things faster. It was like Citibank used to deploy things 6 months once in 6 months to production. But now some of the things, not everything is changed, but some of things like deals for the customers, credit card related stuff, and also some of the payment and transfers thing, also investment banking. There are pieces that goes multiple times in a day to at least twice a sprint, or like twice a sprint, once in a week, at least something goes to production. That is where they were. And today it is like multiple releases in a day also is happening at Citibank. Again, it is all because they started changing the fundamental thinking from of Agile. I think we'll also show it at the end about the Scrum expansion pack, which helps us think AI as a team member. Okay. So this quote from Tariq, who is the SVP for AI engineering, says that Scrum doesn't just work in the Gen AI space. We need to be fluid and release as soon as we have got something possible, daily, even twice a week. The traditional notion of once in 2 weeks should be going away, is what the whole intention is. Also, the lesson that they have learned, or like kind of from the case study that I understood, is traditional agile ceremonies need fundamental rethinking, not just minor adjustments. So with that said, what it is very clear is that the way we work, the way we deliver software, or the way we develop software need to be changed. The last story here is of Eastman Chemicals. Again, this is a very traditional company, a 100-year-old company, which is reluctant in change. Implementing Salesforce in those systems took at least 5 years time, and there were multiple challenges, and it was not that easy. People were reluctant and all those things. They have to spend a lot of time and money to make sure that something is implemented. But now they created something known as Field Genius, an AI app that saves customer hundreds of hours by predicting the equipment maintenance needs. Now, it started in a different way. What it started is like it started analyzing the contract sales and trying to understand how much raw material they need to stack to be ready for production of any specific needs that customer might ask. So depending upon that, what it is like, they started understanding what at what level our customer or when our customers ordering things. So they created this app which is approximately installed into every field engineers. And what it is like, whenever they take measurements, this particular app starts suggesting when they can actually order the product or take the machine for maintenance, make things in a different way. Okay. Traditionally a different thinking, different approach, which is needed for today's market or today's world. And they all started with small things. Like they had this small agile scrum team, which had a big, they built their own business intelligence logistic cubes on logistics and also on the order history. And from there, they started that analytics were kind of expanded to both sides of the things, from the machinery to the chemicals to the order base, and every all possible areas where they can try to get some analytics. Again, data was so important, and this team had got data from the last couple, like 12 to 15 years of data on when people are ordering what kind of goods, and this data served them a lot. Now, what they say is like, it is not just people learning it, but your systems also need to learn. So learning should always happen in two ways. It is people plus the organization that needs to learn together to make sure that AI is helping you drive the innovation. Okay. Uh, so these were the three stories, and let's go with some of the patterns that are emerged from this stories and how they overcame these challenges and they took it forward. First one is velocity paradox. So teams are coding faster, but the overall integration or the outcome is not faster. And this is a traditional problem. Like if you look at any methodologies for scaling or anything, this is the common challenge that they face. And this challenge is what is being solved before we say that a transformation or a scaling framework is successful. So according to Microsoft research or GitHub research, what it says is like individual developers are increase their productivity by 55%. But the team coordination complexity increases because of this. And unfortunately, what happens is like only part of those things which were coded, like 50% faster coding, was a bottleneck in the integration piece. Okay. So, and also with that, story point estimation took a break. So it didn't actually, whatever you estimated were not in line with what you delivered because of many reasons, because of the integration things and all those things, and we were unable to deliver. Stakeholder expectations become unrealistic. So because now you have new agent or new co-pilot, which is helping you code faster, we should be able to see much more improved outcomes. But that didn't happen. So this approach that we use at Salesforce is kind of dual velocity. So we have a historical velocity established within the team. And what we did is like we wanted a comparison with AI assisted velocity. So we didn't change anything. We tried to make sure that we are getting additional velocity with the help of AI. Initially, it was just like this, the satire, like vector satire curve, which is like we were here, there was a resistance. People didn't want to use the tools because as we all know, if you say AI is being implemented, it is a danger for all the developers, or it's a kind of job loss for the people, is what the mindset we had. So with that said, like there was a dip. Also, there was chaos for learning new tools and all those things. And then when we had this velocity measure, there was a dip, there was an increase and all those things. And finally, we were able to accomplish this with 30% increased velocity rather than the previous available or historical velocity that was there. And again, we started measuring differently, like time to completion plus learning captured. So what is the learnings that we had and all those things. Also, we made sure that there was 20% sprint capacity reserved for AI experimentation. Now there are a lot of things that changed from the context, like the data we had, the trust layer that we need to have. Also, third thing is like you cannot put your code to the public. So this was like 1.5, 2 years back, all this started. So at that time, it was like open to public and all those stuff. So we in Salesforce, what we did is that we did something known as a trust layer. So whatever happens, it should pass through this Einstein trust layer. That means anything that is specific to Salesforce will not be exposed to the world, and whatever is coming from the world is always filtered and made sure that this code is not going to ingest any kind of vulnerabilities into the systems. So all these were taken care before this was taken to the teams to implement things. Now, also there is a fact of it. uh, in the same research which took place in 2024, FA Networks found that 40% of teams use AI for productivity tools, but only 24% of the whole 40% of teams, like if you consider 40% as 100% of the teams that have implemented AI productivity tools, only 24% of them scaled it effectively. That means the integration points are always missing. There was a challenge with the integration. And the difference that they saw is like those who measured AI impact separately first were able to get better results. Okay. So, sorry. The second is about feedback loop. So the second pattern that we learned is about feedback loop. The problem was AI provides instant feedback and human processing is still need time. So like code reviews, like Citibank, like 2,000, sorry, 2,20,000 code reviews were completed in last 1 year. It was like approximately uh, uh, less than 1.5 minute per check-in. The code review completed in less than 1.5 minute per check-in. So having that said, what it means is like AI can give you feedback instantly, but humans cannot process that immediately. So for that purpose, the recommendation was like a feedback loop mechanism was to make sure that we always have this feedback loop or learning mechanism at the end of the sprint, which is retrospective. So what it is like, the continuous feedback is automated and logged. So there is no question about ignoring the feedback. It is always logged, but the human processing will always happen in the sprint boundaries. Also, there is a micro learning on how much we were able to accomplish more, or what is some of the things that we learn as AI insights in the daily stand up for 5 minutes. Again, this was specifically kept to make sure that people are learning from the AI systems and they are not doing the same mistake again and again and again. The full AI impact discussions always been kept for retrospectives only. Now, this was based on research conducted by Slack, which is a Salesforce tool itself. So Slack research shows that teams saved 97 minutes per week with AI, but most successful teams still maintain the regular reflection rhythms, which is like having this learning at the end of the sprint, which is at the retrospective. Now, the third one is the most important one, which is skill evaluation. As we said, like how best the systems you built, if you don't have a system to learn, then it is going to be a challenge. Like it is as good as not having the system itself. So AI changes what skills matter, but agile roles doesn't know how to adapt. So this was a challenge. Again, I'm not saying everyone is facing this challenge, but the research shows most of the companies are facing this challenge still. Also, one more insight that we got is junior developers become productive faster with the help, again, based on the GitHub research. So they were able to code faster because of the new ways of coding and all. Like either it may be like based on the prompt engineering or whatever it is, the junior developers are able to code faster, whereas senior developers needed this new skills like AI prompt engineering and human AI collaboration. They were lacking the skills. We don't know the exact reason, but this was based on the research. And Scrum Master didn't know how to facilitate AI discussions. Product owner doesn't know how to estimate AI enhanced features. So these are the challenges that were there in the system. And what we said is like maybe role evaluation is a good way to get started. So developers adding AI learning to definition of done. Scrum Master adding AI impact as standard retrospective topic. Product owner estimating the AI enhancement potential at scale. And teams designating their AI champion role for each sprint. So kind of you are rotating this AI champion role, and we did it at Salesforce. So we are like 92% people are AI champions in Salesforce development teams. So they know how to use this. So again, these are practical things that we have tried and tested. Not that everything is applicable for every scenario, but these are some of the guidelines that you can look into before you scale your organization. You build your own framework for scaling AI. Now, again, the fact is like Eastman Chemical Company's approach on AI is a tool that learns and adopts. As I told you, like the system should learn, also the people should learn. System is nothing but the AI system should learn. When you have a system set up, both sides learn and grow. Teams and tools learn and grow. They made learning AI a formal part of the process. So Eastman Technologies or Eastman Company Salesforce made AI learning a part of their process. So in Salesforce, we do something known as AI learning days. So every quarter there are 2 dedicated days where everyone stops their work and their priority is to learn the new AI technologies. Now there is a systematic approach for it. So there are learning sessions that are being scheduled. There are virtual sessions. There are in-person sessions where people come learn what the work, like there are presentations or research that is done and the trainings that are required. So all are kind of packaged and presented to the teams. And this is a formal process for us every quarter. So with that, let me dive into how we did it at Salesforce. Now I'm coming to my story on what I did in past 2.5 years. So we built a tool to understand how capacity is going to vary, not at just one team level, but at multiple teams, multiple arts, and also multiple solution groups. So the scaling at a scale, what is the impact if we say like we are going to reduce 20% of our team's capacity to learn AI per sprint? What is that impact going to be? So we want to estimate all those things. So we built something known as capacity forecast tool. And this is built on Tableau with the existing data. So we have an internal tool called Gus, just like Jira, and we pull all the data from there, and we try to see what is like 110% of productivity looks like, what is 120% productivity looks like, and what is 80% productivity look like. So when you are kind of adding 20% velocity, what it is going to look like, and when you're reducing 20% of velocity, how it is going to look like, is what the whole concept of this particular dashboard was. And this was built like 2 years before, 2 years ago. This was just before we started putting AI as a formal learning system. Then we started with a lot of things. The first thing that we did is something known as Code Genie. So this is our coding tool. So you ask for anything like write some examples of code to extract features from Coco database. So it creates all those coding things, or it is kind of going to add specific code to your existing code itself. So there's like we started with Code Genie, which is a AI assisted coding program, and we started building agents then. The first agent that we had is known as like Basecamp agent. So this is something which helps people to understand what the whole AI, like the whole knowledge base of Salesforce. So there's something called as Hero Agent. So whatever you ask for about Salesforce, its data space, its coding things, or its repositories, everything you get answers from here. There is an agent that tries to help you everything that you need, uh, from knowledge, from to code base to anything that you ask for is there. Now, it is not just information, but it can do things on your behalf. Like it can initiate code, like a specific code into your code base. It can it can check in code. It can also ask for a feedback or review on your peer review on your code. It can also ask for a AI assisted review on the things as well. And the other, like there are multiple agents, but I just wanted to make sure that I show you agents that are publicly acceptable or publicly it's not confidential information like things that I can show publicly. So the second one is called agent for meeting agents. So what this agent does is it makes sure that you can schedule meeting directly from Slack. And before this, what we did is like we moved away from emails. So whatever we get, it's all on Slack. So Slack is our only tool for communication. So all the emails, all the things are kind of, you get emails. It is not that you don't get emails, but whatever is important will always be on Slack. So if you have a meeting, Slack shows a reminder. You have direct join button. If you want to schedule a meeting, just chat with the agent saying that, hey, I want to have 30 minutes with Shastri. So it sees my calendar, it shows Shastri's calendar, and gives me like slots for next 3 days, 30-minute slots wherever it is available. Again, it considers what is your working hours. Based on that, it gives you some time slots on when me and Shastri are available, so that we can have a meeting together. Okay. Also, it gives a button on join now kind of thing, which you can go ahead and immediately join the meeting. So apart from that, as I told you, like there is something known as GUS, which is nothing but Grand Unified System, a internal tool for Jira replacement. So we don't have Jira, we have GUS, which is an internal Agile Lifecycle Management tool. And these two are called Slack apps. So what it does is like you get a story, you update them directly on your Slack. You don't need to go to Jira or some other place. You automate it here. Like for example, your target closure date for specific story is today. It gives you a notification whether the story is complete or not. You can either close it, or you can say that tomorrow I can close. Tomorrow I'll be closing it, or I need one more day, or whatever you want to postpone it, it will postpone. So you don't need to go to the tool to update the things. Again, Scrum Masters will go to the tool every morning in the stand-up for sure. It is not a replacement for showing for your discussion or visual radiator. But what it is like for people, it is easy way to update their things. We also have something known as Task Hub, which is for all the things that you have to do. Like for example, you need to present a review, you need to like code review. So if someone assigns your code review, you are a reviewer for some specific code, then this comes under Task Hub. So all the tasks that you need to complete will be part of your task. So you can directly go there, you can close it, and it automatically gets completed. Either it might be some compliance trainings, not just your code reviews, but anything that is related to Salesforce that is assigned to you. Either it may be your like great insight surveys, your code reviews, your what to say, your system upgrades, or your task compliance trainings, or any specific annual trainings, whatever it might be, you get all these things here in the Task Hub. So as I told you, like you never need to go to your email system to understand what is pending for you. Everything is under one roof, which is Slack. Okay. And one last thing that I want to show is your sprint insights. So in the tool itself, you get the sprint insights. So in the stand-up, it automatically, like whenever you click, there's a button which has got insight as icon. So once you click on this icon, it shows you what is the percentage, how it looks like, and how many days are remaining, and all those. Based on that, how are you progressing, and all those stuff will be here. I just took part of the screenshot because the below one has got all the information about the team members, what is the story, and all those things. So I didn't want to put that here. But yeah, you can also put out of office. With that, automatically the calculation of your sprint velocity will be reduced, and based on that, you know how much you need to complete. And implementing all this, the outcome was very clear. So we were able to accomplish 30 to 40% increase in developer productivity. Now, key takeaways from what we did at Salesforce and what I recommend doing is like, first is measure your velocity impact. Make sure that you know what your current velocity is and how AI is impacting your team velocity. Okay. Next one is start with AI assisted learning. What it means, AI assisted learning, again, from the perspective of making sure that everything you are building is also a learning system. So it's more from AI learns with you, and you learn whatever is required from your tooling perspective and technology perspective. Now, AI, make sure you talk about AI impact as part of your retrospective. So how you are learning, what is the impact it created on the product, on the people, and also tools and technology. So from all the perspectives, see how AI is impacting for you. and add AI impact as on your product for at least at a feature level, if not at user story level. Automate everything that is possible. This is kind of always like from past 10 years, we are hearing this: automate as much as possible, because automation helps you a lot of time. Use AI assistants wherever possible. As I told you, like in Salesforce, we are huge on agents. So all the agents that, again, it is kind of business driven. So business decides which agents need to be done, and that agent is going to help you in all the possible ways. Now we are moving away from having thousands of agents. We are going to have only 3 hero agents which can solve every problem, and those are action taking agents, not just informative agents. Support experimentation and help minimize the J curve or dip in J curve. I think we already know as a coaches, we already know that there is a dip in the velocity or the outcome when something new is initiated. So as a coach, our responsibility is to make sure that we minimize this dip in J curve so that people can learn faster, and we have a change system in place which is helping people learn better and move away from that chaos and crisis much faster. Okay. Uh, and the last one is make AI learning mandatory and support through systematic learning approach, training initiatives, package training offerings for your teams. And yeah, as Salesforce, we have invested huge in AI learning. It is very, very, very important for us to make sure that this things work. I'll also want to show one agent that our teams has built. So I'll just switch the screen. Sorry.
Thanks, Arjun, for the detailed session and everything.
Just one quick thing. I just want to show
Okay.
this one, and I'll close. Thank you. Yeah. So this is a agent that is built onto Air India website. So this is a Salesforce agent. Just book a flight from so I have not logged in, but if I'm logged in, the response will be different. But yeah, so it shows the best available thing, like 3:30 in the morning, because I asked for, but I can ask like tomorrow afternoon if I say that I want a flight for tomorrow afternoon. And it is not just this. If I continue with that, like if I continue with this and I log in, it books everything. Like if I am logged in and if I have a card added, it automatically books a flight ticket for me. It chooses a seat for me and based on the preferences that I save. But once I do add preferences about the number of people I have, their names, their IDs or whatever information is required, if I save that, then booking takes less than 5 minutes time. So this is an agent that Salesforce built and our team has built for this one. And yeah, basically it is going to be patented. And it's the first worldwide. This is the first agentic customer experience that we have on any any airline site. Thank you. With that, I'll close my.
Arjun,
Yeah.
this actually tempts us to ask not only the best route, but the best flight also, if the AI can tell.
Yes, yeah. I think
Post
that
the
is what the.
crash.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't ask me if the agents were involved to understand the crash details, but to be frank, yes, it is so powerful because we tested it a lot, and it is really very, very, very impactful. It saves a lot of time and it saves a lot of confusion from people.
The way you handled, I think just two questions before we get into the couple of more there. So if there's a holiday, how do you go about the capacity? Is your AI working or is your AI also taking a holiday?
Yes, I'll say you one. Let me share my screen because I have already added that. Probably I missed talking about it, but I can show my screen and help you understand how the AI works. So.
And probably you want to cover defect matrix also, if
Uh,
it's from AI.
so I don't have anything on the defect here, but we had a lot of defects for sure. It is not that it was all perfect, but one of the thing is like AI was able to solve first level coding challenges that people had. Again, it was overall we had a very good increase in productivity, like 40%. Defect, we had around 60% were identified before things were gone to production. But if you want, I can share the specific metrics once I have it ready, because I didn't pick them up and I need to know whether I can share that publicly or not. So yeah, so this is what I said. Like, so this is like, I took a PTO yesterday, and this automatically added 1 out of office for the people, and the velocity automatically reduced by specific points. See, it has a history of how many points I'm delivering sprint over sprint, my individual, even though it is not visible here, but it has a calculation of sprint over from past 4 sprints. Basically, we are taking a average of or like weighted average of past 4 sprints, which is like 40% from the previous sprint, 30% from the n-1 sprint, and 20% from n-2, and 10% from the n-3 sprints. So 4 sprints of data, and based on that, it reduces the amount of velocity that or like the story points I delivered in the previous sprint by number of days, and it calculates what is the 1 day effort that I am putting in, and it reduces the velocity to that extent. So if people are like, it's a holiday, all the, like, we have 5 members in a team, for example, so 5 members velocity will be reduced automatically.
How about AI's capacity?
So that,
Since you have AIs also.
so this is what AI does, right? So it automatically for
Okay, this is the calculation part you're
Yes.
talking about.
Yeah, and
Okay, I was
AI
talking about the development part of that AI is carrying out for you guys.
Yeah, so basically what happens is, like, in the development perspective, it forces people to take less items.
Okay.
So it,
Got
like,
it.
example here, like, it is a, like, kind of forward kind of thing, which says like, hey, one thing is like your velocity was 60 points and you have a vacation, so you should be planning only for 50 points. Are you sure that you want to plan for 60 points?
Got it.
Yes.
Got
What
it.
is the impact? So AI is kind of, probably it is already, we all know it, but we are so blind. I mean, again, I'm talking from my perspective, not everyone might
Right.
do the same thing, but we are so blind that we are confident enough we will be able to deliver more. The velocity paradox. So,
Sure.
yeah, we always want to achieve more. Okay, this is small thing, and too many small things are coming together to make us failure. So AI makes
Yep,
sure
yep.
that, and again, like, for example, if there are any spillovers from previous sprint to this sprint, AI makes sure that we are prioritizing them and we are not taking too much onto our plate again. So it says, hey, did you have the learning from previous sprint? You we were not able to deliver XYZ things on the previous sprint. Probably you are taking something. It also knows which items are new and which are kind of, you already done something of this kind in past, and you can do it easily. So if you're taking something new, AI can also remind you, saying that, hey, this is something that you're trying new. Do you want to do a POC? Do you want to like increase your story pointing, so that this is like the risk can be mitigated easier? We are trying
Thank
to move
you.
away from velocity. Let's see how it works. But at this point in time, we are still using story pointing for stories. We are trying to move.
Gradually.
Yeah, gradually.
Looks like there's some questions out there. Let's look at it. Hiren has
Hi.
asked a question.
Cyber,
Go ahead. Yes, please go ahead. Since
Thank you
you've
for
unmuted yourself.
unmuting me. Arjun, I had a question regarding the tracking separately about the AI assisted versus the pure human velocity.
Yeah, yeah.
So can you please throw some light on what your experience or how Salesforce has done it and how long they continue to do it separately, and maybe there was a merging process?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank
So,
you.
so the human only velocity was the historical velocity that we already had, and so the AI assisted velocity is nothing but, we had a dip on things. Like, we started with 20% reduction of our velocity to learn AI, and then the ultimate goal was to increase the velocity by 20% in 6 months. So we completely moved away from human velocity, and this AI assisted velocity is the new norm for the teams. So they should be able to assess. So it was like 2 quarters of effort, like 6 months. Like, it was like 2022, so 2023 July that we started, and 2024 Jan was the time when we kind of moved away from completely from human velocity versus the AI velocity. And again, we also did some of the pilots on looking at what is a human story delivery versus what is the AI plus human story velocity. Like, for a story, if we are using Code Genie, then what is the velocity increase versus what is the individual velocity? So that comparison was put into place, and we had a targets for that. So this velocity should be, initially we started with 7% increase, 15% increase, 24%, and currently we are at 36%. Did I answer your question? Hiren, did I answer the question or like?
No, I think that was Saibal. Saibal, I said fine.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Is your question answered?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, there is also
Okay.
one more question from Hiren. So just one curious thought. In the new world of AI, we really need to estimate the work. Yeah. So that is what. So we are trying to move away from measuring the work, measuring the stories with the story pointing thing. But ultimately, we need to know how much we are able to deliver in a quarter amount of time to come to confidently agree with an agreement with the business and all those things. So we need to commit to the business for some specific things. That is where like we are still using story points. We are trying to slowly move away. I'll just get back to you if something something comes out in a better outcome, and maybe in the next session I will definitely be able to give more insights into this. Thank you.
Hiren had
Yeah.
one question. So just one curious thought. In the new world of AI, do we really need to estimate pretty
That
much
is what I
what you
answered.
were
Yeah.
talking
That's
about,
what just
right?
now
The
answered it.
velocity.
Yeah, I just answered that. Yeah.
Any other questions, people?
So Hiren, Sharath here. Sorry, Arjun, Sharath here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you trying this AI assisted model at the program level also, scalable, or at the team level?
At a team level, what is that, sir? Can you please repeat?
Are you trying to use this AI assisted model at the program level also as of today, or you're trying this model at the team level as well?
So whatever I showed you in the Gus insights, like whatever the sprint insights is there, right? So it expands up to the product level as well. So like it
Okay.
shows you, see, we are moving away the AI from ideation phase, because like it is kind of streamlining our thoughts into unidirectional. So at least at the product initiation and kind of strategic thinking level, we are not using AI. But from there, once the product model is refined or something that the outcome is there, then at story level, at feature level, we are trying to use AI in to help us drive things better. Like for example, even the architect, once we build the architecture, even the architect is architecture is given to AI with the help of that document that talks about what is written to be accomplished, and we get some insights. Now, how much we are dependent on it is, at this point in time, we are not 100% dependent on it. We are just looking at the outcome, and we are not saying that we are completely depending on it, but we are trying to see how best we can use it. Some insights that we are getting which we are ignoring, and it is definitely catching a lot more insights than what we are trying to put. But at this point in time, I don't say like AI is replacing any of the developers or PM or POs or the architects. The reason why I'm saying this is like it is adding more work to the people. It is actually adding a lot of work to the people rather than reducing work. The outcomes are fast.
Yeah,
The outcomes are faster, but the amount of new ideation that is coming in is actually too huge. So
I think
it is helping. Yeah.
those
Sorry.
will be at the initial stages, right? Moving
Yeah.
forward, I think things will improve in that space also.
Probably it will increase. So there are a lot of other insights. I think I have only two more minutes left. But yes, there is a lot of things that are coming out at this point in time. The models might be at a stage where they need human interaction for things, and probably for next couple of years it is the same stage. After that, we don't know. Like in this today's world, what we can see is only for a couple of months, not in years for sure. So at least for this year, we don't see the drastic change in AI.
Right.
Mm.
And earlier you told some tools, right? Gusbot instead of Jira.
So Jira is an internal, sorry, Gus is an internal tool, so we don't use Jira. So you can also build something on Jira. Jira is also coming with their own AI agent. So you can also build something on Jira which can help you do all the stuff that I'm talking about. But
Okay.
but Slack has become so powerful for us, so we moved away from mails completely. Whatever happens, it happens on Slack. I'll just, if you're okay, I'll just show you what Slack is looking like in today's day. If you all are okay, because I know the time.
Should be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Please go ahead. Yeah. Thank you.
So this is Slack. So this is the Slack bot I'm talking about. So someone had created a ticket for stories in this. So I am able to see everything. Okay. And I'll show you the agents that I'm talking about. So this is the agents. So there are many agents. So these are a couple of things that I'm seeing it. but there are many agents that help us in solving a lot of mysteries and all those stuff. So whatever you want, you get the information. You don't need to depend on anyone. So previously, which used to take couple of weeks, is now taking few minutes for us to get things. And there is one more important agent that probably this can be implemented for every teams. I would recommend this is something known as channel knowledge agent. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to use Slack to do this, but this agent has like whatever happens conversation between people or within the channels. Channels are nothing but a group which teams create groups, right? The same way channels are something which Slack creates, which are used in Slack for communication between multiple members. So there is something known as channel knowledge agent, or this is a RAG-based system which understands what is happening in that particular channel. And if you want to get some information which was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks back or something, or like if something was tagged on you, like for example, Sharath was asked to code review or something, you can just like mention at the rate of agent or at the rate of Einstein and ask the question, what are the action items on me? It gives you all the list of action items in that particular channel, whatever is assigned to you, whatever like it is a very useful, saving a lot of time. And it can also do a lot of other stuff like talking to the people, like tagging the people and making sure that that person also notified, and like all the stuff that you can do from like Slack can be done with the help of this agent. So it is very, very powerful, and it has reduced like response time from 5 days to like 10 to 12 minutes.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So
Great. One last question from my side.
yes.
You are using AI to develop productivity for your products, right?
Yes.
All your products.
Yes.
What all that you are doing for your Scrum Masters and coaches? Are you
So
helping them training on any other tools?
Yes.
No.
So there is something known as BT Agile as well. So BT Agile is an agent that helps people to answer all the, like for example, what are the new things that Salesforce is building in. So all these things, this agent will help people to know. And also, like for example, AI assisted things. Also, like for example, I'm trained on ML, AI, and all those stuff. So I built this agent. Okay, I handmade this agent for sure.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah. So Salesforce, like it is not that people are forcing you, but you are interested, you get all the learning materials, you get practical live sessions and everything. You can join them, you learn. So I learned Tableau to create that something known as capacity dashboard that I showed you previously. And I learned machine learning, AI, building RAG-based systems, Gen AI to build this system.
This is wonderful.
That's why you're in Salesforce. Great. Now we understand.
No, your
Thanks for
velocity
the great
paradox
session.
Thank you.
is a reality. Like we all know, being here into the agile journey, that's a reality for a lot of us, maybe most of us, right? Velocity paradox does exist. But like you rightly pointed, wherever we are in our agile, the transition journey, one thing is stay put. You said learning, right? People and org. That is the only way out to drive innovation. So people, quick check for you guys, which is the website that they have built the AI thing on. So tickle your graces. Let's see if you've been paying attention. But that was very captivating and very, very pertinent session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Over to you, Satish.
And I'm sorry for taking extra minutes, but I think it was valuable. Thank you.
We are still good, June. Like this is a effective discussion, and participants are getting the useful information definitely, right? So yes, thanks Arjun for your wonderful talk. And yes, Shastri, can we have the certificate? Thanks, Arjun, for being a speaker here today with us for Cognition 2025 and sharing your wonderful experience of showcasing the use cases, how your organization made use of this AI and how it is helping in the real time. Thanks for your wonderful talk.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity as well. Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
For everyone who want to connect with Arjun, we have posted his LinkedIn profile in the chat, so feel free to connect with him over LinkedIn.
You still got few seconds, people, to answer in case you paid attention which website that we're talking about that Arjun was highlighting. Let me put the answer to you people. Cool.
Satish, you want to announce the next part, please?
Yes, now it's time